Hi, first graders. Are you ready for some math? So yesterday we were talking about measurement. And we were saying that when we measure, we tell kind of the size of something. And we were focusing on how tall things are, the height, how tall, and how long, the length, which is the long way, right? And we were finding some things in our house and comparing which one was the tallest or which one is taller than another one, which one is the shortest. You guys did an awesome job with that yesterday. I'm super proud of you. Today we're going to talk about when we're measuring, using something to measure, how we measure. So when we measure, we want to make sure that we use the same unit. The unit is kind of just the thing that we're using to measure. So whatever thing it is that we're using, we want to use the same one. So over here I was measuring a pencil and I have some strawberries and some blueberries. Am I using the same unit to measure my length? No, because I use strawberries and blueberries. Those are two different things. Those are not the same. So I could not use those two things to measure. What about down here? Yeah, I'm using only blueberries. I probably could have done a better job coloring. So I'm using the same unit, the same thing the whole way. Okay, we also want to make sure we start at the end of the object. And when I say the end, I mean like the side of it. I guess we should say we start at the beginning and we want to go all the way to the end. We want to measure across the whole thing. In this one, am I measuring across the whole thing? No, I didn't start where the object starts, and I didn't go all the way as long as the object goes. What about down here? Yeah, I started where the object starts, and then I went all the way across for as long as the object is. Another rule when we're measuring is no gaps. A gap is like a space in between. It's kind of like a finger space when you're leaving them in between your words, but we don't want to leave a gap when we're measuring because then it will not be a correct measurement. So what do you think? Did I leave some gaps? Yeah, a lot. What about here? I put all my blueberries right next to each other, no gaps. And another thing we want to have is no overlaps. When something is overlapping, that means it's not right next to each other. It's not gapped apart. It's on top of each other a little bit. We want to make sure when we're measuring that all our things are right next to each other. So you could see here my blueberry and my strawberry are overlapping a little bit. But down here, I have no gaps and no overlaps. I line them up right across. So how many blueberries long is my pencil? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I could say that this pencil is 12 blueberries long. Now you're going to practice some of your measuring on your own today, but I'm going to practice some too. So I want to measure my blue marker, and I need to find some things to measure it with. So I had, Mr. Angers has this jar of coins that I borrowed, and there's lots of coins in there. So can I just start measuring like this? Can I just see how many coins long that this marker is? Would that work? Oh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coins long. Is that correct? No, because these are all different coins and they are different sizes. So they're different units of measurement. So what I need to do is I need to pick one kind of coin. So I'm going to pick these brown ones. They're called pennies. And I'm going to measure with only pennies instead. Let's see. Did I do a good job? I want to make sure that I line up the ends of the object and the end of my unit of measuring all together. I don't want to overlap them on top of each other, but I don't want to leave a gap or a space either. I want them right next to each other so that I can see how many pennies long my marker is. I think that's pretty good because I think if I had one more, that would be too many. That would be too big. So we're just going to try our very best. And I can say that this marker is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is about 7 pennies long. Do you think I could measure my marker with something else? I have some cubes. I know that you might not have cubes at home, but maybe you have Lego blocks that you could measure with. If you measure with Lego blocks, though, make sure that it's the same size Lego block so that you're using the same unit. Okay, I'm going to line my cubes up. I'm making sure that my edges are starting at the same spot. I could even use, I have some little lines in my floor to make sure that they're lined up nicely. Is that good? Oh no, I left a gap. I want to make sure that there's no gaps and no overlaps. Okay, let's see. My marker is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks long. That's crazy. That means that a block, a cube, and a penny are about the same size. I wonder if you could find some things to measure with at home. You could use coins, you could use blocks. If you had some cereal, like a Cheerio kind of cereal, you could use a Cheerio. Maybe you have a toy that's the same. Maybe you have paper clips or Q-tips or rubber bands or I don't know. What do you have at your house that you can measure with? So, first grade, when you're done watching this video, I want you to find one thing that you want to measure. It can be a marker, it can be a stuffed animal, it can be whatever it is that you want to measure. And you have to find 2 things to measure with. So I measured with pennies and with cubes. And my pennies and my cubes were kind of the same size, so that wasn't a great idea. Maybe next time I could use a bigger coin or I could use something different to measure with. And then I'm going to post mine on Seesaw and practice talking about it a little bit, kind of like we did yesterday. And then I want you to post your object and show me 2 pictures of the 2 ways that you measured it today. I can't wait to see. Great job, first grade.